Howdy, 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 everybody. Good morning. I am RJ Smith, and this thing of ours is called the Crazy News Channel. Welcome aboard. We're going to open up this morning with Timothy Busfield. I mean, the West Wing. You guys, I'm sure you know who he is. He's been around a long, long time. And he was arrested not long ago for actually a sex offense against a couple of boys. Now, the thing about this is nobody believes it, number one. Nobody buys that this guy did what they're saying he did. I don't know. Myself, I can't tell. I really can't tell. But this is the latest we've got here. Let's take a look at this. Okay. So, as you know, he was very well known for the West Wing. He was an actor on there for a long time. He's got an Emmy Award, just like that one back there, right there. And he was arrested. Now, there's been a lot of talk that he was captured, or he was on the most wanted list. And that's all cockamamie bull crap because he turned himself in. In fact, he drove 2,000 miles cross country to turn himself in for this. And as for the kids, oh man, wait till you hear this. We have another case, I believe. Now, you guys know I'm against sex offenders, period, right? I don't play. That happened to me when I was a kid, 5, 6, 7 years old. And man, let me tell you something that fucked me up. So I know how bad that is. And I am not making excuses for this guy, but something seems Michael Jackson-ish. Maybe that's the wrong, comparison. But here again, we have allegations coming back 24 years later from a father. And then you have, it's just ridiculous. It's just crazy. So on January 14th, let me read this for you guys. Can you see that? I hope you can. Get my ass off of there. So his legal team on January 14th made a big point that Timothy had passed a lie detector test. Now, we know it's not admissible, right? We know that. But guess what? It's very heavily relied upon in the criminal justice system. And I can tell you that as a criminologist, just from experience. Now, here's the thing about this. If they had, let's just say, I don't know, it came back that he was lying. Oh my God, it would be all over the place. You wouldn't be able to get away from it. But guess what, folks? Came back, he wasn't lying. Unbelievable. He passed that voluntary independent polygraph examination about the child abuse allegations. Look, this claim is central, okay? There's no getting around it. Absolutely central to his defense. We're talking about the lie detector test. The defense claimed that if you're reading right here, I think it's too small for you guys, but his attorney, Stanton Larry Stein, introduced or announced that Busfield allegations are completely false. The defense also highlighted an independent investigation by Warner Brothers that found the claims unsubstantiated. Here's my thing. Having been someone who worked in Hollywood for a long time, I can tell you, you don't want to trust a studio's freaking independent investigation because they don't have law enforcement power. Only so much they can find out. But the fact that Hollywood is backing him up on this when, people like Kevin Spacey and Weinstein all fell down, that says that, you know what, this is probably a bullshit arrest. It just is. So what did the prosecution have to say about Timothy Busfield passing his lie detector test? Oh my God, it was a publicity stunt, they said. They don't believe the lie detector, and it's not admissible, the prosecutors say. But had he failed, you can bet your ass they would be arguing the other way. The fact that he passed it gives me great pause. Okay. Yes, people can definitely screw around. They can control their breathing and nerves and pass it. I myself have beaten a polygraph test a couple times. Um, they're just they're just so unreliable. If you have anything upstairs and you can control your breathing, heart rate, twitching, nervous system, if you can master that, they'll never find you. What? They'll never find that you lied, right? Now, while New Mexico is one of the few states that may allow polygraph testing, remember now, prosecutor just said, "Ah, inadmissible." Blah, blah. That's not exactly true. Okay, here we go with the bullshit. It's one of the few states that allow polygraph results as evidence in criminal cases. So, what does the prosecutor want to do? They want to quash the test. They don't want the jury to hear it. They don't want anyone to hear it. They're trying to make this thing go away. They're trying to seal it. I mean, let's be real. If he doesn't fail a polygraph test, then you need to stop going on the assumption that this man who is 68 years old chomoed two young boys. After 68 years, we have no criminal history. We have nothing to point to that says, oh, yeah, this might have happened. Just these kids. And guess what? The kids told police, Uncle Tim never did that to me. He didn't touch me there. Ah, but once the parents got a hold of it, the whole thing changed. Oh, my God. So, anyway, on January 20th, just a few days ago, this audio came out about the kids saying exactly that. And the judge really had no choice. He had to release him. In fact, there was no bond. He was being held, until his trial. And then this audio came out, and the judge was like, "Yeah, no, we're not doing this, man. Not happening." Uh, First of all, I would be very surprised if these charges survive the month because there's just no evidence of it. There's no physical evidence. There's no video evidence. There's no testimony other than the boys who said, "Yeah, no, he didn't do it at first." Why'd they change their mind later? You got to wonder about that, right? I mean, I'm not going to defend anybody who is a sex predator or whatever you want to call them. I'm not interested, right? I say lock them up, good thing, and yeah, what happens happens. That's just me. What do you think? I mean, do you really believe the media that this man did something untowards? This is I wanted to show you this. So this is him at the Emmys accepting his award. And we're going to just go past the Golden Girls here. I don't know what the heck this is. But we're going to go all the way. There we go. So this is Timothy. You might remember him. West Wing. A lot of big movies. Seth Green was in it. I mean, this guy is inside Hollywood, okay? This is one of the guys that you would never suspect of this. Here is the him accepting his reward from the Golden Girls, who are all now, yeah. Did you guys see his wife, Melissa Gilbert?
On the show. Thank you very much.
So, that's that. Now, you can make up your own mind, but I'm pretty much leaning towards he didn't do it. I just am. I mean, that's just the way I see it. I mean, unless you can really have overwhelming proof, like like Weinstein, right? Unless you have that overwhelming proof, I don't think anybody should be charged with this. And if you look in the media right now, holy shit, they've already convicted this guy. Let's see. Born in 1957. We all know he played Elliot Weston on 30 something, if you remember that. He was in the Field of Dreams with Kevin Costner, The West Wing, of course. And that Emmy you just saw him win was from 1991. Let's see what else we got here. Lambda, Lambda, Lambda Fraternity, Revenge of the Nerds, Trapper John. It just goes on and on. This guy has a hell. Look at this. Just take a look at this. This is his credits, okay? Not here. Wait, not that too, but here. 2023. Let's go up to when it all started. Here we go. 1983, Brighton Beach. And of course, 1990, you remember? A Few Good Men with oh my God. What's the guy's name? I haven't seen him in so long now. Anyway, wait, I could just click on here and see who it is. Few Good Men. I know you guys are yelling at the screen right now. Wow. I mean, this is ridiculous what he's got. His credits are just unbelievable. This is an actor's dream, by the way. When I worked in Hollywood, this is the dream to get a TV role, um, a speaking role, not just walking by the camera, but a speaking and acting role. Totally different. Non-talking roles get paid a lot less money, and they're basically just background, right? Speaking roles, you're an actor, and you get in there and you get a good chunk of the script. A Few Good Men is what launched him in 1990. That's my personal belief. I guess I'm dating myself, huh? Then to follow it up, guys, he was in Stripes, 1981. Stripes was a huge movie. I mean, really, really big. Revenge of the Nerds. Revenge of the Nerds 2, Field of Dreams, Sneakers, Striking Distance, Murder Between Friends, Big League, Little League, First Kid. These are all hit movies, by the way. The end of not so great. After MASH, that was kind of cool. The Paper Chase, Family Ties, Matlock. Does anybody remember Matlock? Andy Griffin, right? He played a lawyer. And of course, he always had the answer in trial. 30 something. I know you guys are aware of that. If you were around back then, very big, big hit. Strays was another big hit. Roseanne was a big hit. I mean, it just goes on and on. The Outer Limits, my favorite TV show of ever, I think. What else do we have? Trucks, Buffalo. Yeah. West Wing. This was what really did it for him, I believe. This made him an everyday kind of actor. He was inside your living room, right? And this is back in 99. So this is just as the internet is born, like in 97, 98. So yeah, he was in 28 episodes and he played Danny Concannon. Yeah. So he's a big member. Big, 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 big. I mean, it goes on. Just goes on and on. If you look at every year, he had a job every year, which is unheard of in Hollywood. Unless you're a name, unless you're what they call a talent, you're not going to get opportunities like this. And not just the opportunities, but things he actually took advantage of and made happen. You might remember Sleepy Hollow, all right, in 2017 as another hit. Night Shift was a hit. That's a Stephen King movie. Designated Survivor, TV show. And just recently, he had done The Cleaning Lady. That was in 2022. But as you can see, he really went after directing. And that's really where his bread and butter has been, really, since very beginning of the 90s. This is all as director. You know? Yeah. So he's a big guy, right? If you go to your Apple TV, you can see just exactly how big he was. I mean, you can look up a lot of actors on Apple TV and get back one or two videos, right? From Lansing, Michigan, he really made a difference in the film industry. So, why would somebody make up such a horrible story if it wasn't true? Very simple, folks. We're dealing with Hollywood fame, means Hollywood money, means Hollywood lawsuits. This is what this is about, in my belief. It just is. I mean, you have the kids come in and they tell the detectives that, yeah, oh, yeah, he didn't touch me, which I'll get to. Now, what I find also interesting is that he only has $1 million in the bank after, Jesus Christ, 40 years, right? 1 million in the bank. That is very uh unbelievable to me. I don't buy that. Come on. You're talking about 40 years? 1 million? It took me a couple years to make that. So yeah, I don't know what the hell what they're talking about. Now TikTok, uh this is what I want you guys to hear. This is the actual kids being asked by detectives when they were first asked, both kids, by the way. The parents claim both boys were molested by him. Both kids were brought in independently. Nobody to kind of sway their testimony. And yeah, this is what everybody heard. Why? Why? Oh my God! Please tell me that I am freaking out and that you can hear this. No, you can't. Wow. Wow. Boy, I just have no freaking luck with this, yeah? I have no freaking luck. Why is this not making a sound? I can't even hear it on my. Let me check this. Yep. Out. In would be. Sorry, guys. Hold on a minute. Yep. Right there. And then let me check these settings up here. How about that? Can we hear anything on it? Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay, so we got me. Why the fuck aren't you guys hearing this? Maybe there wasn't any sound here? Let's check something else. I'm sorry, guys. I have a lot to talk to you guys about too. I didn't expect this. It was working fine before I came on.
So while everybody is paying attention to what is happening.
Oh, so basically that video that I had up, this one, has no sound. All right, so I want to find that. I think it's TMZ would have it. But so they had the hearing. Anyway, let me shorten this up. They had the hearing. They had the hearing, and after the judge heard the kids, which you're either going to hear in this clip or the next clip. But this is TMZ. I can't really play the whole thing because of copyright stuff. But let's see what we can get out of this.
Huge victory for Timothy Busfield today. And
Okay.
an
All right.
enormous
What the hell's going on now?
loss and even
Get
embarrassment.
out of there. Huh. Why the hell are we not hearing? Oh, I know why. RJ, why don't you turn that up?
Huge victory for Timothy Busfield today. And an enormous loss and even embarrassment for prosecutors in Busfield's child abuse case. You know that Busfield has been held without bail for about 5 days after being charged with sexual abuse involving 2 young kids who were actors on the set of The Cleaning Lady. Busfield held without bail, but today there was a hearing on why that should stick. And the judge said, no way should this stick. The defense lawyer, the lawyer for Busfield, went line by line through the complaint and just started picking it apart, basically saying that this is a case involving revenge by parents who were angry that their kids were fired from the last season of The Cleaning Lady.
So here's the motive, right? Everybody always asks me, RJ, what's the motive then? What's the motive? The motive is money. You know, Busfield was the director of this film, and he fired the 2 boys because they just were not needed. And what did the parents do instead of, sending them to auditions for other things? They accused this guy, Busfield, of abuse. Let's finish this here.
To support the argument, the defense played for the judge an audio we first obtained involving one of the kids talking to the police. And even before the policeman asked, did Timothy Busfield touch you inappropriately? The child jumped in, even before the question was asked, and said, he never touched me inappropriately.
There you
Well,
go.
that is significant evidence, and the judge heard it.
Significant.
And that was then buttressed by something that the prosecutor had even put in her complaint, that one of the actresses on the set said that the mother of these 2 boys told her that if her kids were fired, she vowed revenge against Timothy Busfield. So there was a lot more that went on, but this defense lawyer just picked apart all of the allegations that the prosecutor had made, trying to suggest that he was a danger to the community. Another
They're
thing
irrelevant
that
now, by the way.
defense lawyer said was that Timothy Busfield was never alone with these children, and the people who
There you go.
regularly were around never saw anything untoward with Timothy Busfield.
Look, folks, come on. We have to stop this mentality in our country of people alleging abuse, whether you're a woman, a male, a kid. Let's do this. When you get abused sexually, please report it right then. Not decades later, not 2 decades later, not 10 years later or 5 years later, right then. Because what they can do is, if that really happened, they can bring that victim into the hospital and run what they call a kit, RA kit. And they collect DNA from off of whoever's body is claiming this, from inside or outside, on the skin, on the nails, something. They don't have any of that because why? Well, it probably didn't freaking happen, you guys.
And the kids. Melissa Gilbert, Timothy Busfield's wife, was in court. She was crying as the judge said not only would he release Timothy Busfield, but he would release him without any bail, that he is released on his own recognizance pending trial. Now, this does not mean that Timothy Busfield is in the clear. He is still the defendant in a child sexual abuse case, and that is serious. But if this is any bellwether where the judge went from no bail to releasing him without any bail,
that tells you something's up, folks.
The judge, at least, seemed unimpressed with what the prosecutors have brought to the table, at least so far.
They
I
overcharged.
think it's relevant. This is in Albuquerque, different from the Alec Baldwin Rust case.
Right. Alec Baldwin, same state, was charged, right? So these are overreaching prosecutors. Nothing new here, folks. Nothing new to see. This happens all the time. It's not as rare as we
that
might
was in
think.
Santa Fe. But the Alec Baldwin case completely collapsed. And
Right. So, yeah. And this collapsed too. And the judge knows it. And that's why she let him out. And I want you to hear directly from the children. So let me pull that up. I thought I had it, but perhaps I did not. So let me pull it up. Let's see if I can get it here. Boys say no. Timothy Busfield. Let's put that. Busfield freed. See how far, look at this. This is another thing about the media, guys. Let me enlarge this for you guys. Now, someone please explain to me, like I'm a 2-year-old if you want. All of the watch this, all negative. Look. All negative. Look, where is the audio of the boy saying he didn't do it? Well, I'm going to find it for you. Look at this. Everybody's on the bandwagon. They've convicted him already before he even had a chance to defend himself. Let's go this way. Let's do boys. Deny touching by. All right, so here we go. Why am I not seeing it? Here's the written part. In the clips, the kids say Busfield didn't touch that part when asked about private areas. And another boy repeated, no, he's never touched me. Can you get any better than that?
Shockwaves in the Timothy Busfield child sex abuse case. As newly released audio reveals a twist. Prosecutors, however, his mother felt police barking house on the prairie.
Says she knows Busfield more intimately, tells the judge. His spirit of any human. Michael refers to Busfield back against prosecutors. He abused two brothers, ages 7 and 8, in 2022. At the time, the children were actors on the Fox series. Claims the state had, according to production rights, a financial and according to the documents, lost their roles, and only after consulting civil attorneys, claims reliable evidence that any abuse occurred, and argues the case relies almost entirely on the accounts of the children's parents, Angeli LaSalle and Ronald Rodas, whose sons were later replaced.
Do you remember, guys, when this happened to Michael Jackson? The boys said nothing happened, and then the parents came and said, oh, no, he did it. He did it. That was about money, too. This is something very common in Hollywood or entertainment, period. When someone has a lot of money and fame, there's always going to be somebody who tries to benefit.
On the cleaning lady in 2024, according to production records referenced in the filing. The actor alleges.
All right, so that was a totally clickbait. Did you see that? I put in exactly what I wanted, and they gave me something that was totally irrelevant. Timothy Busfield child accusers audio tape. Where the hell was it?
Actor Timothy Busfield was back in a New Mexico courtroom today, pleading with a judge to set him free until his trial for child abuse allegations. Jim Murray is at the courthouse in Albuquerque with the very latest.
By the way, he did not plead. He didn't plead. The media is so dishonest.
I want to warn you, some of the details are graphic.
Actress Melissa Gilbert appears at an Albuquerque courthouse as her husband Timothy Busfield asks a judge to set him free. Busfield was led into court in handcuffs in an orange jail jumpsuit. I spoke to Busfield's attorney.
There is no credible evidence that Tim did anything wrong. There are dozens of witnesses and documentation and audio which establishes that he didn't do anything.
Are you hoping he'll be released today?
He should be released today.
Prosecutors say that Busfield is a serious and ongoing danger to any child.
Now, check this out. The prosecutor's saying he's a danger and he might reoffend without ever being convicted? Are you serious? So the prosecutor's putting it out there. Oh, we can't release him because he's a danger. He'll reoffend. There's no evidence of that, folks. Complete and utter
in his
lies.
Proximity, and they want him to stay locked up. He's been behind bars since his arrest 7 days ago. Police allege Busfield engaged in unlawful sexual conduct with twin brothers on the set of the Fox TV show The Cleaning Lady, which was filmed in Albuquerque. Now, for the first time, we're hearing audio from the twins who initially told police in 2024 Busfield did not touch them inappropriately.
You know what's right
Check
and
this
wrong,
out, folks.
right? You know where people can't touch, where people can't do. Yeah, you know that, right? Does Tim ever do that?
No, he's never touched me.
His twin.
Yeah. Did you guys hear that?
Brother had the same response.
You know what's right and wrong, right?
Yeah.
You know no one could touch your private areas?
Yeah, but he doesn't touch that part.
Doesn't touch your private parts? Okay.
Holy shit. Both brothers, both interviewed independently, both say it never happened. But of course, afterwards, when the parents found out, oh, they were livid. And they changed the story.
The audio recordings were released by Busfield's defense attorneys in an effort to establish his innocence of the charges. But prosecutors say that in recent months, after the boys underwent therapy, they changed their statements and said that Busfield had touched them inappropriately. Today, a veteran Hollywood security guard who worked on the set of The Cleaning Lady is reportedly prepared to testify on Busfield's behalf. In court papers, he claims he heard the twins' mother say she would get Timothy Busfield and have his blank if her boys were not hired for the show's fourth and final season.
Boom! Boom! That is a bomb right there. A bomb. So you have the kids saying it never happened to police or talking to police. Didn't happen. Then you have the mother telling people on set that if Busfield did not rehire her children for a new season, she was going to get them. Folks, that's it. That's the end of the game right there. And if you remember the Michael Jackson case, same thing happened.
According to a report, her boys were, in fact, replaced.
And more fallout for Busfield. He's just been digitally removed from an Amazon MGM romantic comedy called You Deserve Each Other.
Right. And see this, I don't agree with this, folks. I don't agree with it at all. Hollywood should not be removing him from anything until the facts of the case are known. This is how lives are ruined. And if I was Busfield when this is over, I would sue every single news agency that put a slant on it. But that's just me. You know, who knows? And with that, folks, I am going to bid you all a farewell. And I love you, and I'm glad you like this live stream. Leave your comments down below. I'd love to hear it. And as for that, I'm out of here.